What's up, y'all? We are back. This is episode 19 of the Nashville Stampede Out of the Park Baseball 24 series. We're here May 25th, 2030. Kind of a couple days earlier than I usually pick up these saves. Usually it's June 1st, sometimes a little bit later. But yeah, we just had a really exciting series. Oh, I guess first two games of the series against Kansas City. And this 15-0 win kind of sums up our season so far. We're 36-14. We're 8 games up in the South Division, and the team is just playing awesome baseball right now. This 15-0 win was a huge day for the offense. We'll go over some individual performances, but Tanner Houck had a really good start, and he's been really good. So let's start with the hitting, because this has been the one area that this team has improved drastically over last season. So. Kira, he had an awesome year last year, continues to hit well this season. Looks like his defense hasn't been incredible, but, he's still really good out there, having his best offensive season this year. So, really happy with him. Frank Correa, what a free agent signing this guy was. Didn't even crack our opening day lineup last season, really. And now he's playing some first base and has been our second best hitter, or really, our best hitter. Him and Kira are two different players. Frank's more of a on base, get me some hits type of guy, and Kira's more of the prototypical middle of the order hitter. But they've both been really good in our 1 and 2 spots in the order. Mike Molinax finally having his breakthrough year here in year 2, but this is his third year up in the majors. Totally broken out as a potential MVP winner here, but he probably won't keep this up. The BABIP's insanely high, but at least he's shown he can hit a little bit, and he's been really good in left field as well. 4.9 zone rating. Gage Workman, all he's got to do is stay healthy, and he's done nothing but hit when he's been in the order. He's been playing a lot of shortstop. Isn't great over there. His range did drop to a 60, but we'll take this all day as our 3-hitter / shortstop. Adley Rushman has been a huge acquisition from the offseason. 123 WRC plus. The defense is fine enough. The pitching staff's been good, so I can't complain about his defense at all. But yeah, he's been huge. We gave him a lot of money, and we'll see how this ages. But yeah, we're super pumped with what we've gotten from him. Luis Angel Acuna continues to be a really solid mid to late order bat. Good third baseman. Addison Barger has been great. I don't think that these stats tell the whole story. He's been his April was really, really good. May has stumbled a bit, but overall he's been a huge piece of our offense, which is not something I really expected when we got him for basically nothing. This Nate Dome character who is now a free agent. So yeah, that was huge getting him. Max Clark, league average hitter with insane defense. I'll take that all day. I should really be playing center field, but I like Kira out there. I don't know why. Just put my best player in center field kind of thing. It's like the Jeter at shortstop effect, where there's probably a better guy who can play there, but Kira's the center fielder. Alex Harrington got off to a miserable start. His April was putrid, but has turned it on in May. Been much better. Still think he can be a good player, but he's got to keep building off this month. And then Carter Smith's been okay. As a utility guy, hasn't done a ton, but plays decent defense. And he's now my utility man, playing all around the infield. I think he was at the beginning of the year too. I don't quite remember. But Jez Chisholm has, he's been okay. He's just kind of a backup player. I thought he got off to a pretty good start to the year. May's been dreadful though. Then Edgar Nieto, now finally in a reserve role. He's doing what he's always done, but just in a lesser sample size. He just made our team better. And Moto, not quite able to follow up a good AAA performance and good performance in limited time in 2029 over to this season. So Could be looking for a platoon bat. He's playing against lefties. It's not like a huge need. He has been good against lefties at least, but yeah. Let's go to the pitching really quick. So Jaime Melendez continues to be great. Has dropped the walks a ton and increased the K rate. I'm not sure why that's all of a sudden happening, but I'm not going to complain about it. And then Emilio Marquez, so happy we re-signed him. On pace to pitch 170 innings of 2.05 ERA. The strikeout to walk ratio is insane. It looks like our strikeouts are up across the board with our starters, which is fascinating considering Brushman's probably a worse defender than Nieto's been, but who knows? Maybe it's just the Rushman effect. And Nick Lodolo, his strikeout rate has dropped and walk rate's increased, but he's still been a really solid 3-starter. I'll take this all day from him. Drew Hackenberg has been awesome. This doesn't really tell the full story. He's just like, I don't know. If he gives us this every single season, he's an incredibly valuable pitcher for us. His strikeout rates also increased a ton, so hopefully he can keep that up. The stuff isn't incredible. The ratings really aren't that great, but he should probably be a better control pitcher than 3.2 walks per 9. But if he puts a 4 WAR, totally cool with that. And then Tanner Houck, just put him on Nashville and let him cook. This dude, I don't know why he's so lowly rated. Like his ratings are like really, really solid, but he's only a 45 overall. But I'll keep running him out there for 1.5 million because he's awesome. Then the bullpen has also been good. Henriquez, her first year as the closer, pitching really well in that role. Martin Blanco continues to be really solid. His Ks are way down, which is weird, but he should be like a 12K per 9 guy. I don't know why he's at 7.5, but hopefully that goes up. But the results are good regardless. Angel Lopez in his second year on the team, been a good 7th inning man. And then Jose Soriano, another really good season. We got Cantarino, probably been our worst reliever. The home runs have been a problem. He wasn't exactly suppressing the home run ball last year, but looks like more guys have gotten on base and maybe some BABIP luck. Although his BABIP's really low, so maybe not. I don't know. Could just be more guys are getting on and he's giving up home runs with people on. I'd assume that's what the problem is, but hopefully that can correct itself. He still hasn't been bad. Ashby's been really good. Another guy who just seems to pitch well in a Nashville uniform. And then Angel Cervelli, our Rule 5 pick, has also been solid. Steve Hajar, the guy we got in the McRae trade, he's made a nice impact on the team as well. Some other guys who have made an appearance. Altman hasn't been up yet. Struggling down in AAA. I want to get him up eventually, but really not in a rush with him. Let's see. So Knack hasn't been up. Jerger hasn't been up, although he's hit well. Let's see. Yeah, we really haven't had a ton of injuries or anything. We have had... Okay, it was... Who started? It was Palante who started on the team. Yeah, pitched 2 games, and then we had to free up a roster spot, so I DFA'd him. But he's still in the minors. So that's how things stand here, May 25th. Maybe we'll sim a couple days, just check out how the team's doing. So we sweep Kansas City. Kira 2 RBIs. Everyone in the order gets exactly 1 hit. Very interesting. But Melendez a really nice start. She's really not great out of the pen, but it doesn't matter. Let's sim the series against Miami. Then we'll look at maybe the minor leagues and see how they're doing. So Melendez looks like he got hurt. He's out for a week. We might need a spot starter. We lose 2-1. Molinak's a couple hits, but the offense not getting much going. Marquez is a good start. Game 2 in Miami, we lose 4-3. So rough series so far. Tommy White's doing okay. He was one of the guys I was considering taking in that 2024 draft. We wound up taking Molinak that year, which looks like it's worked out fine. It's taken a while to develop, but yeah, he's now here, and looks like Henriquez blew that game. And looking to salvage the series against Miami. Then we'll check the minor leagues. We get swept. That sucks. Hackenberg, not a great start. So let's check out our prospects. So Milt Allman, we kind of mentioned how he's kind of struggling down in AAA. I'm not too worried. But, the control is an issue. He's really never gotten that walk rate down enough. And, I think he could still be a decent starter, but he's going to have to figure that control out. And then Robbie Watkins, who was a first-round pick back in 2028, up in A-ball now, pitching pretty well there. The walks are an issue, but he'll probably, I'd assume he probably finishes the year in A-ball and then maybe a late season appearance in high A. We'll see. But yeah, so far so good with him. Johnny Colburn, who's our other top 200 prospect, coming along developing-wise. He's now in high A after 2 seasons in A-ball struggling. Just pushed him up to high A because, you may as well at that point. He's 22. And he's pitched well, so maybe a midseason jump to Double A coming soon for him. Zach Hughes was a third-round pick last year, has not appeared. Jax Bishop, who was a fourth-round pick in 2028, really high floor guy. I do want to get him to the majors at some point, but he struggled in AAA thus far. Steve Gracek was a 2027 second-rounder. Pitching pretty well in A-ball. At least the results are good. And he's 21. He's pitched 18 games. I think he's... I'm going to push him up to high A and see how he does there. We have this guy, 19-year-old. Oh, yeah, I pushed him up to A-ball. And he's holding his own as an 19-year-old here. A fifth-round pick last season. And, yeah, crushed rookie ball last year. And, with the high BABIP, of course. But, that's rookie ball for you. You can't really take into account stats. But his ratings were good enough that I felt comfortable pushing him to A-ball. And looks like that's working pretty well. Negative WAR, but holding his own offensively. It's a good Jaden Stroman. So he's the guy I'm really excited for. And he is crushing Double A. Yeah, I've been pretty aggressive with him. He's an older prospect, but man, pretty good defense, good bat. Could be my shortstop of the future, and he's hit so well in Double A. His ratings are there, and let's push him up to Triple A. Maybe he makes an appearance before the All-Star break in the majors. Talon Bell, I really like him as an arm, pitching well in Triple A. We'll see how he does. Sterling Patrick, another guy, pretty good ratings, 12th round pick in 2026, pitching well in Double A. Could see an appearance in Triple A by midseason. Boston Kellner, he was a guy I was pretty excited for, a two-way guy. We've kind of stuck him as a pitcher at this point. Second round pick in 2025, I think I already said that, but hasn't gotten to pitch a ton in the last couple of years due to injuries. But yeah, he's pitching okay right now in AAA. A guy I would like to see in the majors at some point. And then Jefferson Jean, he's a relief prospect. And PJ Morlando, who was once a bat-first catcher who I kind of drafted for strictly his bat, has developed into a pretty decent first baseman, good power, on pace for 69 home runs right now. So we got to find a way to get his bat in the order, I think. But, this lineup's pretty stacked. I guess Chisholm's the guy. Or maybe Matsumoro, but I like that righty off the bench. So, yeah, we'll maybe we'll sim up to mid-June, All-Star break area, and come back and kind of see how this team's going. Hopefully we can recover from that sweep in Miami. But second in runs scored, first in runs against. The pitching's been incredible. The batting's been much improved. And yeah, the Stampede are looking good here, bouncing back from disappointing last season. So we'll keep simming ahead and come back in just a sec. All right, so I just recorded this whole section, and it didn't record. So we're 57 and 36 here at the first year player draft area. June we really sucked, 11 and 16. As you can see, July we've been fine. A couple sweeps and got swept once, but yeah, the end of this month we lost like 15 of 18 to end it. It was like 9 of 10 in this stretch, and there were a lot of close games, and there was some fluky stuff, I think, but we bounced back this month and kind of became the old team. But yeah, really brutal June for us. We can kind of go through some of the stars. So let's go through PJ Orlando. So I mentioned him last cut in, I guess, at the beginning of the year. He was a guy I was looking to call up. Kind of a bat first prospect, drafted in the 11th round way back in the day. Kind of flew through the levels quickly, but is stalled out in AAA. Just haven't had a spot for him. But when Gage Workman went down, which we'll go over, I called him up, and he's been fantastic as our DH against righties. Kind of pushing Barger to the bench, but Barger has been fine in his own right, but Merlander just gives us a little more upside. So yeah, we lost Gage Workman again, this time for 2 to 3 weeks of the strained lat. Wound up being close to a month after everything was said and done with rehab assignments or whatever, but he's still been good. Kira's fallen back down to earth. Really bad month there in June. 208, 68 WRC plus. Been bad in July as well, so we really need some more out of our MVP. He's not even on pace for 5 WAR anymore, which would be unfortunate, but Mike Molinex continues to lead the way. He's taken over the Kira role. And it's kind of looking like prime Grant McCray out here with 20 home runs, 30 steals, good defense. It's pretty reminiscent of that. So basically, we traded McCray to have Molinex turn into this guy in year 2 as a full-time player. So yeah, Rushman has fallen back to earth after a good start. Still fine production, still better than anything we've ever gotten out of a catcher in the series. So definitely not going to complain too much about it, but I would like to see a little bit more. Carter Smith's been a nice surprise with the bat. Acuna's been a nice league average hitter once again. He's fine, but he's a free agent after the year. We'll see. We have some guys coming up that we kind of went over before through the pipeline. Max Clark continues to disappoint. He's got to be at least a league average hitter to justify playing him in right. Because we already have a center fielder. Maybe he's a trade candidate here at the deadline. We just kind of need a little bit more punch. I would love to keep him as like a 4th outfielder, but he's going to make $4 million. It's not really... I don't know. Maybe we move Kira back to right. He's been good in center, but, he was actually phenomenal in center last year, so I don't know. We'll see what we do with Clark. But his ratings have fallen off offensively, and that's really disappointing because it makes no sense why he should have. It's just the randomness of this game, I guess. And yeah, he's really regressed since the first 2 seasons. Alex Harrington's been kind of a black hole, but he's still a rookie. We'll give him some time and see if he can work that out. But Nieto's been good, league average hitter according to WRC plus. And Chisholm's been fine. Has had a couple big moments actually for the team. Just going through these sims and. The pitching, on the other hand, has been fantastic, led by Emilio Marquez. So glad we brought him back after kind of, debating whether he's worth it after a fine second half, but not nearly what we gave up. He wasn't really worth what we gave up to get him. It looks like we made a good decision giving up on Roybal. I kind of had a feeling he was going to flame out, and it looks like he already has just about a year in. And then Wilman Diaz continues to just not live up to these ratings offensively, which is so curious. But, he's not even a good shortstop anymore. I think Cam Robinson, he's going to be a free agent after the year. A good reliever, but not a starter, really. We couldn't afford to have too many of those guys. So, yeah, it was a good trade. And then, we'll see how the contract ages. It's not horrible, so, we'll see. Melendez has been good once again. Jaime Melendez continues to be one of the best pitchers in baseball. Dropped his walk rate. That continues to hold. Yeah, he's been really good. Nick Lodolo had an awful month of June. An 8 ERA and 6 starts. 3 home runs per 9. Overall, he's been a league average pitcher if you average it out. But, the last month kind of blew him up ERA-wise. And, the numbers don't look great, but I think he could finish strong. And Drew Hackenberg, the strikeouts have fallen back down. They were above 8 before, but, a league average pitcher giving you 177 innings, I'll take that all day. And then Tanner Houck, he keeps doing his thing. ERA under 4. It's just what he does in a Nashville uniform. Bullpen-wise, Henriquez actually lost the closer's role. He was really bad in June, blew a ton of saves, and overall the peripherals just didn't look great, and I didn't really trust him in that spot anymore, so I gave it to Jose Soriano, who he was pitching fantastic. Still is. He's blown a few saves here, but yeah, I trust him a little bit more than Henriquez at this point. Burton Blanco continues to be a best reliever. The strikeouts are ticking up again. Angel Lopez has been solid as well. Cantorino, not great. Home runs continue to be an issue for him. You can see a couple of appearances in a row giving up 2 home runs each. So, could be a trade candidate. I don't know if we can keep running him out there, but the rest of the bullpen's been good. Ashby's been solid. Chivilli's been good. And Hajar's been good as well. So, we're here at the first-year player draft. That's the reason I stopped. So, after a 11-6 loss, Molinex 4 hits, 3 RBIs, and then Workman 3 hits, 2 RBIs. Hackenberg, a horrible start. Can't even get us out of the 3rd inning. But yeah, let's go to the first-year player draft here. And we have the 24th pick after a disappointing year. We were 18th, but it looks like we dropped. Okay, that's... What? Oh my god, there's so many comp picks. That's why. I was like, dude, how do we drop back 6 spots? Well, that's stupid. So we sign our draft picks and everyone else gets to move ahead of us because they didn't. Whatever. Looks like it's a pretty good draft here. We're not picking last for once. It would have been higher, but whatever. Nothing we can do. Oh, Chad Wallace. It's the Jeff Word from the Rockies save build, which worked out really well for Jeff. Although he actually didn't have quite the eye that Wallace has. That's a sick player. I would totally take him, even though he doesn't have a defensive position. Dan Crowder's a heck of a player too. So some guys that could fall to us. Who knows? Let's see who Houston takes. They take this guy. He's fine, but yeesh, that defense is bad. Juan Mendoza, first base prospect. Sure, go for it. I have a feeling one of these guys might fall. Let's send them to our pick, so they don't. Let's see where Chad Wallace went 9th. All right, and then Dan Crowder was the other guy I liked. He went 13th. So still some good players here. Like we didn't completely lose out. Tim Kakoza, pretty nice player. Just looking at college guys with. Pete's pretty good. Switch hitter. I don't really have a preference of what I need. I think our infield is pretty built up at this point. Guadalupe Hill, pretty good bat, but not really well developed for a 21-year-old. I don't know if I'd take a risk with a pitcher at this point. With some pretty good people on the board. I actually like this Cavazos guy more than I initially thought. Wow. Wow. He can do it with the bat, too? I mean, he's 21. Man, it's a hell of a player. That's like a Shohei Ohtani type. The bat's really good, and the arm is really good. The control's an issue, and I've had guys like this not work out with the low control. Our scout thinks we should take Alfredo Santana. I don't think so. I'll look through a couple other guys, but man, Bob Long looks really freaking good, and a really good hitter and pitcher. I've never had a two-way player actually work out in this game. Like, it just doesn't happen, but Tim's good too, but more of probably a corner outfield type. He's only 20, which is cool. And the bat's pretty solid, but I don't know. I think we have a couple of those guys in that build. Steve Heller, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's becoming pretty evident as I go down this list who we're going to take here. I mean, Eddie Ellis is actually a really good player, too. But the upside's not terribly high. Love this Jeremy Hall guy. Reminds me a lot of Jeff Word, actually, with the, good defense, good speed, insane bat, no power. Although Word did wind up... Maybe I'll follow up on that save, because Word actually wound up developing like 50 home run power, and he's like insane now. I've simmed a couple of years in that save. Yeah, so I think... I hope Jeremy Hall would fall to us in the second round. He might. I don't know what we have for comp picks. Actually, I didn't even realize we had a first-round pick, because I thought we lost it for Rushman, but it doesn't look like we did. All right, so we have 19 in the next round. It's possible he drops, but I'm not going to bank on it. But yeah, I think we're going to take Bob Long. I mean, this is just too fun of a player to pass up. The control could be an issue. He's 21. Like, it's very possible he winds up never developing the 65 control. But even if he doesn't, like, he's still a good... Could still be a good arm, good pitch mix. In the batting ratings, although I can't see, like, what type of hitter he is, I guess. I guess I can. Live drive hitter. Good speed, good outfield defense. Like, fun player, if nothing else. And he's only one slot. He's durable. Man, this is like a can't-miss guy here. So, I'm going to draft him. Offer him a contract after. But let's see what falls to us in the second round here. I like Cavajos. He's definitely a guy I was looking at. But let me see. Jeremy Hall did fall, man. That's fun. That's a fun pick. He could play a corner outfield spot if we need him to. I wouldn't do that, but he's a low leader, which don't love, but such a I don't know. That would be like two really fun picks to start off this draft. I know I keep saying fun, but it really is. It really is, for sure. Imai's interesting too, but the stamina's not really there. I didn't even check. I hope I didn't check, what's his name, stamina, Bob Long. Okay, he's got 60 stamina and 80 hold runners. Man, that's a can't-miss pitching prospect, and he can hit. Okay, so continuing draft. Yeah, man, let's see what the... I do like Cavazos, but I think Jeremy Hall's maybe a better third base defender. I guess they're both about the same defensively. I'm gonna go with Jeremy Hall. I think it's too cool of a player to pass up. So, Eddie Els is still here. Not the highest upside play, but could still be like an all-star type player. I love that pick. And these guys up here really excite me a ton. I guess that would be a decent relief pitching prospect. Bollinger's interesting, but he's really a two-pitch guy. Maybe the changeup develops. Yeah, a couple of bad defensive second baseman types. Jackson Shearing, fastball, curveball, cutter. Not really enough mix there to make it as a starter. Fastball, curveball, changeup, sinker. Good stamina. The floor is so low, though. There's a good chance he flames out pretty quick, but I like Zeba quite a bit. Fastball, curveball, changeup, sinker. So you got something in the high velocity band. Sinker kind of sits with the little higher than the changeup, and then curveball, slow velocity. And this is a good starter for sure if he develops. But I think Eddie Els is still the pick. He could play a good left field, could play some first base. And he's a lefty. I don't really know what that means for our current team. I guess that's ideal, especially if Clark's on his way out. So yeah, let's go with Eddie Els. Not really an exciting pick, but probably a really good player. And our guy there went... pick did he go with? Was it Steve? No, it wasn't Steve Clark. Who's the guy I was looking at? Jig Zeba. Here we go. He went a couple picks after. Yeah, so that makes sense. Good pick by Arizona there. Oh, but Imai's still here. Fastball, slider, changeup, sinker. The stamina is not incredible. Extreme ground ball, which I like, but he also has good stuff. Good. Hopefully the control can develop. I think Imai makes a ton of sense as a high upside dart throw. A little bit over slot, but that's fine. We have money to spend. We have Andy Hogan, who our scout wants us to take. He's fine, but I'm going to do the rest of the draft off camera because these might take a little bit longer than those first couple picks. But yeah, there we go. Those are the first 5 rounds. We'll be back to update on the rest. All right, so we're here at the All-Star game. We can check out the rosters really quick. So here's the AL. You can check those out if you want. And then NL, we have our boy Alton Davis, once again making it for the Mariners, but Emilio Marquez and Jaime Melendez make it for us, as well as Steve Hajar, who is kind of surprisingly, I guess, makes the All-Star team after being traded for Grant McCray. Pretty big get for us there. So we get an All-Star reliever. Not the I would have expected, but we'll take it anyway. Adley Rutschman is the starting catcher for the All-Star team. Then going down the list, we have Mike Molinex out in left, and Kira was actually the highest vote getter out in center field, as well as Max Clark making it, which kind of crazy. Looks like he's starting in right field, so probably our best player of the bunch. Molinex isn't even starting, but Max Clark is. Interesting, but anyway, man, he's put up 1 WAR. It's whatever. It's All-Star game voting for you. So, yeah, we bring a 59-40 record, 3 games up on the Marlins. We bring that record into the All-Star break. You can see July, we still haven't really turned it around. But let's go to the draft really quick, because we did pick a couple other interesting guys. We went through the first 4 picks. We took Andy Hogan in the 6th. Like him quite a bit. Mike Daniels has some big power. Could develop, who knows. Devin Lowry was a dart throw at a high school pitcher. Jeff Butler, kind of same story there. Mike Haney was kind of an interesting build, 86 to 88. No stuff, but good movement, good control, not really any pitches. But I don't know. We'll see if maybe he can break the mold of a good pitcher. Eric Joseph, a good high upside high school hitter. We got Caleb Klein, same story. Joe Ford, not as high upside. Same with Asher Ivany. And we took a couple of different interesting arms and whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much the draft. So as we head to the deadline here, what are our big needs? So we're second in runs scored, first in runs against. Maybe another bullpen arm is pretty much the... Okay, just got cut off there, but... a big bullpen arm would be kind of my goal here. Maybe a good solid closer. So let's check out the trade block as we head toward the deadline. Brett Beatty's here. Would be a great get. I don't know what his asking price is. I'm sure it's not crazy. Gage Workman's a free agent, so maybe we could pull it off if we make the money work. Gabriel Moreno would be nice, but we don't really need a catcher. Bobby Witt's an awesome defender. This would be ideal, actually. Really good hitter, although he doesn't really have the track record of being this good. The walk rate's abysmal, and the strikeout rate's fine, but high BABIP might be fueling his success. But either way, if he's a good defender, an upgrade over what we have over there. Von Grissom, not really the defender I kind of need. That would be the other thing, would be getting an actual shortstop, because we've kind of been trotting out a motley crew of guys to play shortstop. None of them really shortstops. Bo Naylor looks like he's really regressed. This is the most interesting 4-year sample ever. Went from being 30% above, 30% below, 30% above, 40% below. League average. Very interesting. Okay, so Jace Young is a guy I was looking at. Don't hate him. I don't know where he'd play for us. Probably some third base, but yeah, I don't know if I'd put him at second. Not opposed to him, though. Then Vaughn Brown, not the most interesting bat. And, outfield isn't our number one need. If we can make Brett Beatty work, that'd be pretty cool. We can move Correa to second. Smith can kind of move to a more reserve role, and then it kind of improves our entire infield. It gives us more depth, but I think the bullpen is most important. So let's go to the pitchers. Wow, they already beat me to it. So Bubba Chandler's here. One of the best pitchers in baseball over the last 6 years. Pitching pretty well this year. Not great, but another guy we could probably buy low on and form a big 3 in our rotation. Does he have good stamina? He's good enough. Sean Boyle's interesting. Not a big strikeout guy, but could be a good closer. Mike Burrows, guy who's a free agent after the year, making the minimum. That's really interesting. Alexis Diaz has been a good pitcher for a couple of years now. This guy Coe, apparently pitching in AAA for... Oh, he's on a rehab assignment. That's interesting. 38 years old. Where the hell did they get this guy? The trade from San Francisco. Where did this guy come from? Okay, so... Okay, so he signed in 2028 to a 3-year deal. If this is his actual ratings, I'd be interested. But he just had a big arm injury, 38 years old. Intrigued, but not totally sold. Drew Rasmussen could be a good buy low pitcher. Grayson Rodriguez would be fun. Pretty cheap deal. We could probably swing that. Dylan Cease, was he ever... Yeah, he was on our team. Yeah, for half a year. He was okay that year. So, okay. I think we have a general plan here of what kind of relievers or maybe a starter we can go after and push one of these guys to the bullpen. So, yeah, I'm going to look around for some trades, come back, and we'll reassess in just a sec. All right, so went and made 2 trades right before, I guess a week before the deadline, but I kind of used as urgency. The team's just not doing too well right now, so I am traded for Jace Young, from the Giants. Not having the best of years, but a lefty bat that plays the infield is kind of a big need for us. So plays a pretty good second base, can play some third base, kind of split time evenly this year. So the package is practically nothing. George Lombard, I mean, he's not nothing, but a former, I don't even know where the heck did we get him. He was a 7th round pick back in 2026. Kind of developed nicely, but gave him a good chunk of playing time last year in the majors and didn't do a ton with it. Hasn't done a ton in AAA. Like, he's been a fine hitter, but I just don't really see him working out for us. So he was spare parts, and we were able to have them eat the entire rest of Young's contract. So yeah, I think that was a pretty good trade. And then also the bullpen, we've got Nolan McLean, 29-year-old reliever, free agent at the end of the season. It's actually his birthday. Happy birthday, Nolan. You're now a member of a competing team. I don't think the Orioles. Oh, the Orioles are too. Okay, never mind. So yeah, we just gave him Cantorino, and that was good enough for them. I guess they want a reliever with some control, which I get. But yeah, McLean, free agent at the end of the year. Cantorino, or Cantonero, whatever the hell his name is, wasn't pitching well. I don't have to say his name anymore. So the rest of the bullpen, I mean, Henriquez, he's under contract for the next year, so we're stuck with him. He hasn't been that bad, but, not ideal. I'm pulling Soriano out of the closers role. He was fine in it, but I'm going to give it to McLean, see what he can do. And then, yeah, the rest of the bullpen, I'll probably stay the same. I'll go up to the deadline. If there's any injuries, maybe we'll make another trade. But if not, this is probably the team we're going to go with to try to make a push. Go down to AAA. Ton of guys knocking on the door. I guess it's not really a good one. Jaden Stroman's a guy I want to get up. Could be like a September call-up type. Robert Hassel's hit pretty well down in AAA. And we just called up Austin Jerger, who's hitting well down there, 157 WRC+. He was just playing way too well, so we sent down... we sent down that second base. Yeah, we sent down Harrington, and we had an open roster spot, I think. I don't know. But we called up Grady Emerson as well, who was dominating AAA, 155 WRC+, almost 4 WAR in just 85 games. I'm going to give him a little bit of run. There's not a ton of playing time to go around, but he'll play every 6th game at third against righties, and then, we're trying to win right now, so I can't give him too much playing time. But yeah, Carter Smith will get some starts at second base against lefties as Young moves to DH. So that's pretty much the lineup. We'll send him to the deadline. Maybe there's another move to make. But yeah, we'll return in just a sec. All right, I think we're going to end the episode here. We're at the deadline, and the team played pretty well down the stretch. Got a bunch of wins, and I feel pretty confident about this team. Grady Emerson played 2 games, had a home run, 3-run home run in his first game, and then had a nice double and an RBI. So 4 RBIs through 2 games for him. Jerger not so much, but whatever. And yeah, the black holes on offense. Let's hope Clark improves. Let's hope Acuna can come back. But even if Acuna doesn't and Emerson's our third baseman, I'm not too upset. He probably is my third baseman next year anyway. So, I'm okay splitting time between these two at this point. But yeah, Young's been really good in 7 games, batting .400. That looks like a good move so far, but a lot of time left. And then McLean, 3 innings in 4 games, and has struck out 21 guys per 9. So good start for him. And yeah, the rotation. Let's hope our 2 aces and then our 3 really solid number 3, 4, 5 starters can hold it down. And yeah, that'll be the episode. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll be back next time with hopefully some playoffs and maybe another World Series. We'll see. But yeah, talk to you later. Goodbye.